Jerry Jeudy attempted to clear the air on, I guess, a viral video that was suggesting he wanted Deshaun Watson to start over Shedeur Sanders. Cut. And before the edit, he showed his daughter, which prompted a viewer to ask how old she was.
A video hit the internet, and within hours, people had Jerry Jeudy picking a side in the Browns quarterback competition. Not Shedeur, not Dylan Gabriel, Deshaun Watson. That was the headline running around. But Judy came out and said the clip everybody was reacting to wasn't even close to the full story. And once you hear what actually happened on that live stream, you're going to understand exactly how fast the internet can turn nothing into a headline. So, here's what set this whole thing off. Jerry Jeudy was on a live stream doing what receivers do in the off-season, just talking, hanging out, answering questions from whoever popped into the chat. At some point, his daughter came up on camera. She's 4 years old. A viewer asked how old she was, and Judy answered with the number 4. Simple, normal dad moment. Except somewhere in the comment section, somebody decided to turn that into a quarterback conversation. Because if you know anything about the Browns quarterback room right now, you know jersey numbers get tossed around like code, and somebody apparently connected Judy saying 4 to a jersey number, cut the clip right there, packaged it up, and suddenly it looked like Jerry Jeudy was publicly backing Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders in the Browns quarterback battle. No context, no follow-up, just a chopped 4-second moment built to travel. And it traveled. That's the part that should bother people. A guy answering a question about his own daughter's age got turned into a storyline about locker room politics. Judy didn't say a word about the quarterback competition in that moment. He wasn't asked about Watson. He wasn't asked about Shedeur. He was asked about his kid. But once a clip like that starts moving, the original context doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the caption somebody slapped on top of it. And in a market like Cleveland, where every quarterback decision gets picked apart daily, a clip like that is basically gasoline. People don't need much to run with a theory. They just need something that looks close enough to a headline, and this one looked close enough. So, Judy had to come out publicly and explain something that should never have needed an explanation in the first place. A guy talking about his 4-year-old daughter. That's it. That's the whole controversy. But because of how live streams get sliced up and reposted, he found himself fielding questions from reporters about a quarterback battle he had zero intention of commenting on that day. Think about how absurd that actually is for a second. This isn't a guy who put out a statement about the quarterback room. This isn't a guy who got interviewed and gave a real opinion that people didn't like. This is a receiver on his own personal live stream talking to his own fans, showing off his kid, and somehow that turned into a national conversation about who he wants under center in Cleveland. That's the speed at which things move now. It doesn't matter how small the original moment is. If somebody with a following decides to cut it a certain way and attach the right words to it, it can be sitting in front of thousands of people within the hour, completely detached from what actually happened. And that's exactly why Judy felt like he had to say something. Not because he did anything wrong, but because silence in this environment gets read as confirmation. If he doesn't address it, the story just keeps growing on its own. And eventually, it's not a video that got misinterpreted. It's Jerry Jeudy wants Watson over Shedeur, full stop, no question mark. So he stepped in front of it, explained the timeline, explained his daughter's actual age, and tried to kill the story before it turned into something that follows him around the locker room for the rest of the season.
You could easily, somebody under it, like 3 comments under, could say, oh, what quarterback do you like? So trying to stir up the pot, you can easily do that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I don't think that he would I don't think he did that on purpose. I think somebody made the little video, made it look like he did that for the 4. His daughter is actually 4 years old.
So, if the clip was fake context on a real answer, why did it spread so fast? Because it fit a story people already wanted to believe. Think about how these live streams actually work. It's not a scripted interview. It's not a press conference with one question and one answer at a time. It's a moving chat window, comments scrolling by the second, people asking 100 different things at once. Somebody could be talking about his daughter one line, and 3 comments down, somebody else is asking a completely unrelated question about the quarterback room. On a screen recording, those 2 things can end up looking like they're connected, even when they're nowhere close. That's exactly what the breakdown pointed out. A 4-second window pulled out of a live chat can be twisted into almost anything if you're motivated enough to do it. And here's the thing people forget. Jerry Jeudy has zero reason to insert himself into this quarterback competition publicly. quickly. He's a receiver trying to have a strong season after coming over in a trade. He's not walking into a quarterback room fight for no reason, especially not through a random live stream about his own family. If he wanted to make a statement about Watson or Shedeur or Gabriel, he's got real platforms to do that on. Post-game media, training camp interviews. He doesn't need to smuggle an opinion into a stream about his daughter's age. That's not how players who actually want to make a point operate. They say it directly, on the record, where there's no ambiguity. So, when you step back and look at the full picture, the far simpler explanation is also the correct one. A guy was hanging out live, got asked how old his kid is, answered honestly, and the internet took it somewhere it was never supposed to go. That happens constantly with athletes now. Anybody who spends real-time live streaming knows exactly how easy it is for a chat full of strangers to manufacture a storyline out of one clean 4-second clip. There's also a bigger point here about how NFL players get treated the moment they say anything in public. Every word gets weighed like it's a press release. Every pause gets read as hesitation. Every joke gets read as a shot at somebody. Judy isn't the first player this has happened to, and he won't be the last. But it does say something about where we're at right now, that a guy can't even answer a basic question about his own daughter without somebody trying to turn it into a quarterback controversy. That's the world these players are operating in every single time they turn a camera on, whether it's a real interview or just them relaxing at home. And to be fair to the people defending him here, this isn't blind loyalty talking. It's just basic logic. If Judy actually wanted to make a public statement about the quarterback competition, there would be no reason to hide it inside a random comment about his daughter. Players who want to send a message send it clearly. They don't bury it in a coded number during a live stream about their family. The simplest read of the situation is also the most obvious one once you actually sit with it for a second, instead of just reacting to a screenshot.
And now you got this man talking about he got to think about how to answer a question that somebody asked him about his child, because now he needs to have the foresight to know that some idiot out here go try and manipulate it into something else. Jerry Jeudy, bruh, don't even worry about this. Like, it's not even something to give thought to be honest with you. You know, and if he stopped talking to y'all and give y'all nothing, then all of a sudden, oh, he an asshole. Yeah, he ain't being a good NFL player. He's not. No, y'all done went on ahead and y'all done did some BS and took something out of context. Now this man talking about he got to think about how to answer a question about how old his daughter is because y'all go out here and try and flip it and make it into something else. The dude said, I've been in the league for what was it? He said 7 years. 7 years now. He said 5 of those 6 years, it's been a quarterback competition within those years. Like, I've been through this. Y'all think I'm stupid enough to go and actually answer a question like that?
This isn't Judy's first rodeo with quarterback drama either. He's played through quarterback competitions for most of his career. He knows exactly how these narratives get built, and he knows how to shut them down. And that reality check matters, because this whole situation says less about Jerry Jeudy and a lot more about how Cleveland media covers this team right now. There's a real pattern here. Reporters covering the Browns have been going after every possible angle of controversy involving Watson, Shedeur, and Dillon Gabriel since the offseason started. Every practice snap count gets a headline, every offhand comment gets dissected, and when there's nothing real to report, some of these outlets have started reaching for whatever they can find, even a random 4-year-old comment on a live stream, because tension between 3 quarterbacks fighting for one job is simply more clickable than anything else happening in Berea right now. The honest answer for why this keeps happening is the one that got laid out plainly. Cleveland hasn't been winning, and when a fan base and a media market haven't tasted playoff success in a long time, every storyline defaults to controversy, because controversy is what keeps people clicking, keeps people arguing, keeps people coming back. It's not really about malice toward any one player. It's about a market starving for content in a season that's still just training camp reps and quarterback battles instead of actual games. Until the Browns start stacking wins, every little moment, even a dad answering a question about his daughter's age, is going to get run through the controversy machine. Compare that to how a winning organization usually gets covered. When a team is stacking wins, the local media tends to rally around the roster. Reporters look for reasons to be optimistic because the fan base wants optimism, and that's what drives engagement. But when a team hasn't been to the playoffs in a while, the incentive flips completely. Controversy becomes the product. A clean, boring update about a good practice doesn't get the same clicks as insider reveals tension in quarterback room, even if the second headline is built on almost nothing. That's not unique to Cleveland. That happens in every market that's been losing for a while. But it does mean the players there are operating under a magnifying glass that teams with winning records simply don't have to deal with. That's a hard environment for any player to operate in, but it's especially hard for the three guys at the center of the quarterback competition. Every word gets a headline attached to it, whether they meant it that way or not. And that's exactly what makes what Dillon Gabriel said this week stand out so much, because he handled the entire situation about as cleanly as a player possibly can. It's worth pointing out, too, that this isn't some one-off complaint about one bad headline. This is a pattern that's been building all offseason. Every single practice update gets framed around who won the day between Watson and Shedeur. Every small moment, a good throw, a bad throw, a rep count, a body language read, gets blown up into a referendum on the whole competition. So when a totally unrelated clip about Judy's daughter gets pulled into that same conversation, it's not really surprising. It's just the next domino in a market that's been primed all summer to see quarterback drama in absolutely everything, whether it's actually there or not.
Dillon Gabriel told reporters that he doesn't feel disrespected, that the Browns' quarterback battle has focused on Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. He said, "I don't take things personally. It's business. I'm focused on what I need to do to get better, and that's all I'm focused on."
Two different players, two completely different ways of handling the noise. Judy had to publicly clean up a story that was never true. Gabriel just refused to give reporters a story at all. And that contrast is really the whole lesson buried inside this story. Dillon Gabriel has every reason to feel like he's being overlooked right now. He started games last year. He beat out Shedeur for early reps under the previous coaching staff. And now the entire conversation in Cleveland is built around Watson and Shedeur, like Gabriel isn't even in the quarterback room. But instead of pushing back publicly, instead of feeding reporters a quote they could turn into a headline about him feeling snubbed, Gabriel gave them almost nothing. It's business. He's focused on getting better. That's it. No drama, no shot at anybody, nothing for a reporter to build a controversy story out of. That's the difference between a player who understands how this media environment works and one who gets caught in it by accident. Judy didn't do anything wrong either, to be clear. He answered a normal question about his daughter and got dragged into a manufactured quarterback story that he never signed up for. But Gabriel's approach shows exactly how a player can starve these storylines before they even start. Say the boring, correct thing, let your play on the field speak instead of your words off it. When Gabriel is out there in these preseason reps, completing passes and not turning the ball over, that's what actually gets him back into the conversation, not a quote reporters can spin into controversy. So really, this entire week gives you two lessons about the Browns' quarterback situation happening in real time. One, be extremely careful with anything you say or do around a camera in this market right now, because even a 4-year-old's age can get twisted into a quarterback battle headline if the wrong person is watching. And two, the players handling this competition the smartest right now are the ones giving the media as little as possible to work with, and letting whatever happens on the practice field do the actual talking. There's also something worth watching going forward here. Gabriel's numbers last year weren't flashy, but they weren't bad either. He kept the offense on schedule, protected the football, and when Shedeur took over mid-season, the offense actually opened up a little more down the field. That's not Gabriel failing, that's just two different styles of quarterback play. And now, heading into this camp battle with Watson fully healthy and Shedeur a year more experienced, Gabriel is the guy with arguably the most pressure and the least attention. If he keeps playing clean, mistake-free football in these preseason reps while staying completely silent off the field, don't be surprised if his name starts creeping back into this conversation, whether the reporters want to talk about him or not. So, to bring it all together, Jerry Jeudy never took a side in the Browns quarterback competition. A clip from a live stream about his 4-year-old daughter got chopped up and spun into something it was never close to being, and he had to spend part of his week publicly correcting a story that shouldn't have existed in the first place. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel, sitting in a genuinely tough spot in that same quarterback room, handled his moment about as clean as it gets, refusing to give reporters anything to build a controversy around. Both situations point to the same thing. This Browns quarterback competition between Watson, Shedeur, and Gabriel is generating so much attention that even completely unrelated moments are getting pulled into the storyline. And until this team starts stacking wins, that pressure isn't going away. What makes this whole stretch so interesting is that none of the three quarterbacks have actually done anything to create this chaos. Watson's just trying to come back healthy after 2 years of injuries. Shedeur's trying to build on a rookie year where he clearly earned the starting job by the end. Gabriel's trying to prove last year wasn't a fluke and that he still belongs in the conversation. All three of them are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, which is competing and staying quiet about it publicly. The noise isn't coming from the quarterback room, it's coming from everywhere around it. Reporters looking for headlines, fans looking for a villain, and now apparently random players like Judy getting pulled into it over something as harmless as a live stream with his daughter. So, here's the real question heading into camp. Do you think Jerry Jeudy's explanation clears this whole thing up, or do you think there's more to this quarterback room drama than we're being told? Drop your take in the comments. Smash like and subscribe.